So, yeah, this is Disney 65 fan here, and today I am going to tell you some of the references I spotted while watching the latest, not remake, sequel to the anticipated film of 2007, Enchanted. I did a review of this movie yesterday, so I told you what I thought of it. So this time I'm going to tell you the references I spotted, like I said. Now I will be reading them because I actually wrote them down just there now. And yeah, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, don't watch this video because there's a load of spoilers thrown in. So I apologize. But if you have seen the movie, which some of you do, which I presume some of you have seen it, then you can watch it. So with that being said, let's dive to the references. Okay. So I'm gonna read them out like I said. Okay. So the first one I spotted while watching the film is Sleeping Beauty's parents, which is Aurora's parents. The minute the movie the minute the movie started, I literally saw the parents. I was like, oh my god, that's Sleeping Beauty's parents, which is totally cool. The second thing I spotted was when Giselle's eyes change yellow and then it goes back to being blue during the curse when she wished for a fairy tale life and she transforms into a stepmother is clearly a nod to Mel, aka Dove Cameron's character in Descendants, which I thought was totally cool, by the way. Three, the inanimated objects coming to life is a nod to Beauty and the Beast. What I mean by that is the scene where Morgan is singing and Robert is singing that song, the song as well. You can see the objects coming to life, like the toaster and the egg pouching machine, and the whole lot. And you can also see as well, which I forgot to mention in this, it's just dawned on me now, is the broom from Fantasia, the sorcerer's apprentice scene. So yeah. The dance Giselle, Robert, and Morgan dances to during that scene is Step in Time from Mary Poppins, which sounds totally cool, by the way. Giselle and Malvina's magic force is clearly a nod to Wanda's and the one Agatha's magic force in WandaVision. Giselle's personality, which is switching back and forth between her nice, innocent self and then to her evil self, is clearly not to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. If you don't know, if you're saying to yourself, what's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Um, yeah, it's basically this doctor that transforms into an evil version of himself. It's even referred to in that movie, The Nutty Professor. So that's what I mean by that. Next one. Sorry, I'm ignoring your messages, by the way. I saw them, so yeah. Anyway. Giselle's accent when she turns bad is literally a nod to Julie Andrews, who is the narrator from the first movie, which sounds very clever. Love Power, the song Love Power is basically show yourself meets into the unknown, especially into the unknown with the scenes. Laughing my ass off. Ha ha ha. Yeah, if you don't want to watch this video, Pickle, then don't watch it. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. The tree that Morgan touches resembles the tree from Avatar, another one with the jellyfish in it. That's what it's like. When Nancy transforms Morgan's dress blue, it's clearly a nod to Cinderella. The leaves from Colors of the Wind can be seen during the Love Power scene, which I thought was totally cool. Morgan's first dress is clearly a nod to Emma Watson's dress from Beauty and the Beast, which I thought was totally awesome. That's in the remake of Beauty and the Beast. Certain shops in Monroeville, aka Enniskerry, is clearly a nod to Disney songs like Under the Sea, which have to be very quick when you see them. During the climax scene, Giselle sings Love Power, and it's literally a nod to the Next Right Thing sung by Anna from Frozen, too. Speaking of that, Giselle's almost death scene is clearly a nod to Olaf flirting away in Frozen 2. I thought it was totally clever. When Morgan tries to escape her bedroom in the attic, because her bedroom turns into an attic, is clearly a nod to Rapunzel and her hair, especially like the top part of her room is literally like Rapunzel's tower from Enchanted. Tangled. My mistake. Yeah, Morgan's original actress, Rachel Coven, makes a cameo, which I thought was totally cool. So yeah, it's a blink and you miss it. So if you see her, you see her, but it's like a blink and you miss it. Ray from Princess and the Frog makes an appearance too in the animated world in the beginning, which sounds totally cool, by the way. So yeah, I'm sorry for all the ranting, but anyway. Rapunzel's tower can be seen in the beginning of the movie, so it's literally the opening of Disenchanted, and you can see like Rapunzel's tower. You see Belle's house where she lives. Another thing is you can also see Cinderella, the 1950 Cinderella, sitting down near the fountain with the sheep, which I thought was totally cool, by the way. Yeah, the climax then. Speaking of the climax again, I said the climax before, but I'm gonna say it again. So during the climax scene of Disenchanted, Robert and Tyson is Malvina Monroe's son, who Morgan has the hots for crush on. They're trying to stop the clock, and this is clearly a nod to Mary Poppins Returns with Lin-Manuel Miranda's character and the chimney sweepers trying to stop the clock before the house that the banks the kids the bank kids the banks, you know, Michael and Susan? Yeah, Michael and Susan. I'm gonna say Michael and Susan. That scene there, that's clearly not to that. So I thought it was cool that they added Mary Poppins Returns references in this movie. So yeah. During the song Balder, which is a villain song, yes, we finally get a villain song in this movie. There is a clear nod to two different villains. The first is Maleficent, and the other is Cruella de Vil. And in the movie 102 Dalmatians, Kevin Lima, who directed Enchanted, directed that movie, which I thought was totally cool, by the way. And it just dawned on me now that the whole clock thing, when it reached 12 o'clock, was literally like the scene where Cruella transformed into her bad self again. So kudos to referring Kevin Lima. So yeah. Yvette Nicole Brown's Jayma May's dress as the stepsisters are not on stage and Giselle from Cinderella. So yeah, that's all I can think of. So yeah, that's it for me. And if there's any other references I didn't mention, you can comment down below if you want to. So yeah.